My name is David Niven. I've got a secret. You think you can guess what it is?
I've Got a Secret, presented by Cavalier, the great new king-size cigarette, made by the makers of Camels. Yes, king-size Cavalier cigarettes present I've Got a Secret, starring Gary Moore.
Him and his fancy clothes. I'll show him how to attract attention. You shouldn't complain. Listen, working behind a desk the way I do, I don't have to wear any pants at all. You'd never know. Oh, these are so cool. Were my seams straight when I came out? Let's settle down, shall we? Let's settle down and play this game of ours called I've Got a Secret, a Snoopy sort of game in which we reveal the awful truth about some very nice people just for fun. Tonight we have some information about some interesting folk, information which they're going to try to keep secret from our panel. Now I'd like to have you meet our panel. First, our young former automobile greaser from Pittsburgh, Mr. Bill Cullen. Then the former Connecticut dancing teacher, Miss Jane Meadows. Then our one-time deliverer of films, Mr. Henry Morgan. And finally, our one-time babysitter, Miss Fay Emerson. That is our panel. Now, in just a moment, I, a former necktie salesman from Baltimore, am going to introduce you to two young ladies with tonight's first secret. But first, is this your secret? Do you try to kid yourself into thinking that your cigarette is mild? Well, then listen. Here is mildness that's for real.
There's been a good deal of talk about cigarette mildness lately. Well, let me introduce you to king-size Cavaliers. I'd like you to get acquainted with true cigarette mildness. Light. Now, inhale and feel that Cavalier mildness. Ah, that's real mildness, isn't it? The kind of mildness that really counts. The smooth, easy mildness you feel as you inhale. That's the mildness you get from king-size Cavaliers. See what I mean by true cigarette mildness? No wonder when thousands of smokers compared king-size Cavaliers with the cigarette they'd been smoking, 8 out of 10 interviewed said Cavaliers are milder. Yes, Cavalier's mildness is where you want it, in the feel of the smoke as you inhale. And remember, Cavaliers are the mild cigarette that give you so much fine flavor. See what it means to enjoy a cigarette in every way. Inhale. Feel that Cavalier mildness. Taste that Cavalier flavor. Yes, feel Cavalier's mildness and taste Cavalier's flavor and see how all-round enjoyable a cigarette can be. And here's more good news about Cavaliers. They give you extra length and extra value at no extra cost. Cavaliers are king-size, but priced no higher than leading regular-size brands. King-size Cavaliers are made by the makers of Camels, so you know they're great. Get a pack or a carton today.
Now, panel, how about it? You all set to play I've Got a Secret?
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Well, in spite of the heat, let's go at it with vim and vigor then. Will our first two young ladies come in, please? Hello. In here? Now, will you tell the panel in order? We'll take you first, young lady. Will you tell them what your name is?
Alice.
Her name is Alice. Alice Rogers. And your name is?
Barbara.
Barbara Rogers. Now, young ladies, here's how we play the game. Each panelist will get 2 questioning periods of 15 seconds each. But the clock will only time the actual questions. We take time out for audience reaction and discussion. When the panelist's time is up, he will hear this sound, and I will pay you $10 and turn the game over to the next questioner. Twice around the panel for a total loss of $80, and the game is over. Now, young ladies, if you'll whisper your secret to me, we'll reveal it at the same time to the folks at home. I must say you picked a wonderful night for it. To help classify this secret panel, I will tell you that it concerns something that they have, and I think we'll start the questioning this time with Jane Meadows, please.
Well, something you have. I'll start with you, Alice, since you're the oldest. Do you have this with you, whatever it is?
Yes.
Is it an object of some kind?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Is it an inanimate object?
She means, is it alive? She just talks that way.
Oh,
Yes.
it's alive.
It's
Is it an
alive.
animal?
No.
It's not an animal.
Yeah, it's animal. That may not sound just right to you, but it is. It's animal. Trust me.
Does this animal have 4 legs?
No.
No. Does it have 2 legs?
Yes.
Buzz, and there's $10 for the young ladies and $70 to go from Henry Morgan.
Well, this two-legged animal, pardon me, Alice and your mother,
Barbara.
is it a human being?
Yes.
Is it related to you?
Yes.
Is it like a mother?
Now, what is like a mother but a mother, Henry? There's an 8 million songs saying it is nothing like a mother but a mother. How do you mean, is it like a mother?
I just withdraw it. I don't mean anything at all. Girls, is
Buzz, there's $20 down and $60 to go. Miss Faye Emerson, please.
Alice and Barbara, is it your mother with you?
Mm-mm.
Is it a female relative?
Yes.
Is it your aunt?
No.
Is it a sister?
Yes.
Now, it can't be Alice that you, Barbara, that you have Alice, and Alice, you have Barbara.
No.
No.
You mean you have another sister with you?
Yes.
Is it a bigger sister?
No.
Answer is no, Miss Emerson. There is another. There's $30 down and $50 to go. No holding up hints, Mr. Morgan. Bill Cullen.
Is this a very, very young sister?
No.
Jane, your turn will come. The panel is everybody's got it except William. Aren't you glad, William?
Yes, I'm...
You mean, is it a younger sister? Very young, you mean infant? No.
Yeah. Could it possibly be this... Is it possible that you have your sister under the desk?
Yes.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it is, but there's more to the secret than that.
She's under the desk on a pony who was under the desk 3 weeks ago.
No, well, hurry up and guess it, will you, the poor child, before she expires?
Are you sitting on your sister?
No, they're not sitting on
Are
their
you
sister.
standing on your... Oh,
$40 down and $40 to go, Jane.
Are you 2 girls the same age?
Yes.
Is your sister your age?
Yes,
Are you
and here
triplets?
she is. Here's poor Carol. You're a real good sport. Was it awful hot?
No.
Not too much, huh? But we want you to have something to remember us by. I don't know whether children appreciate banks. I never did when I was a kid. But we got a silver dollar in each one of these to start you off on. We want to thank you all. Well, I've got one for you too, Carol. We hit it, though. There you are. This is then we say farewell to Alice, Barbara, and Carol Rogers. Thank you all very, very much. I guess they're a little too young to smoke, huh? I suppose so. I'll save those for myself. You people out there, we would dearly love to find out what your secret is and have our panel try to guess it right here on the program. You write to us when you expect to be in New York and send us some interesting fact about yourself, some humorous or odd or newsworthy tidbit, and who knows, you might find yourself puzzling our panel. Send all of your secrets together with a small snapshot that you can spare with your address and your phone number to I've Got a Secret, CBS TV, 485 Madison Avenue, New York, 22, New York. All right, having started out with 3 charming young ladies, let's see then who is our next contestant. Will you come in, please? Now then, will you tell the panel, please, what your name is and where you're from? Either one. Here, I'll pull the mic over to you over here. Just tell them
My
your
name is Esther Cates. I come from Dorchester, Massachusetts.
Dorchester, Massachusetts. All right, now you remember how we play, Mrs. Cates? You pronounce it Cates, do you? All right, twice around the panel, and you have lost the game. Now, Mrs. Cates, if you'll remind me of your secret, at the same time the audience would like to know what it is. I have no comment to make. To help classify this secret panel, I will tell you it concerns something that happened to Mrs. Cates, And I think we'll start off this time with Bill Cullen, please.
Miss Gates, did this thing happen to you indoors?
Yes.
In your house?
No.
Was it a social gathering or something like that?
Yeah.
Were there a group of people seated at a table when this thing happened?
Yeah.
Well, this thing that happened, did it happen to everybody at the table?
Would have been quite a party, but it happens that it didn't.
Well, then was this a result of someone's bad table manners or careless eating habits?
No.
Well, was this a dinner? I mean, was someone eating when this thing happened?
No.
Dinner?
Buzz, there's $10 down and $70 to go. And Miss Jane Meadows, please.
Mrs. Cates, you say there were other people at this table. Were you playing a game by any chance?
Yeah.
You were. When this thing happened, did you yell bingo by any chance?
Answer is no, Miss Meadows.
But you were playing a game. Was it a card game?
Card game, yes.
You were playing a card game. When you were playing this game, was the thing that was involved, was it the size of the pot by any chance? Did you have a full house or four of a kind?
No, that wasn't it. $20 down and $60 to go. Mr. Henry Morgan, please.
Well, I guess the thing to do is to identify the game, is it? Would that help?
You must identify the game for the secret, yes.
Well, let's see. Jane was in the poker. Was it bridge?
Yes.
Did it have anything to do with your partner? Were you the, were you dummy?
She might have been. It's immaterial.
Well, was it something like the results? Did you win the booby prize or Well, if this happened to a professional bridge, like Ely Culbertson, and, you know, if it would it, it's the kind of thing, if it happened to him, would it get in the papers, you know?
Oh, yes. Yes, if it happened to Ely Culbertson, I'm sure we'd all read about it in the morning. There's $30 down and $50 to go. Miss Fay Emerson, please.
Mrs. Cates, what happened to you in this game? Was it something completely apart from the game that happened to you?
Yes.
And it was to you personally?
It happened to you personally, yes.
Yes. Did it make you ill, or did you feel better?
That's a strange question. Did it make you ill, or did you feel better?
Well, I mean, did it affect your general health in any way?
Momentarily, yeah.
Were you happy about it?
Were you happy about it? I think definitely, yes.
Does it always happen to you when you play bridge?
I imagine she plays more often than that. No, answer is no.
I don't play bridge, so I'm pretty well stumped on this.
It's probably just as well.
Well, now let me see. Was anybody else involved in it?
Yes. $40 down and $40 to go. Panel, each of you has one more opportunity.
Oh,
Bill Cullen?
my idea is so ridiculous, I'm afraid to try it. This thing that happened to you while you were playing bridge, would it be likely to happen to another lady in a hospital?
Yes.
Did it happen to my mother? I was born a long time ago. Did it happen to my mother at home, for instance? Could it have? Could it also
Could have happened to your mother at home. I don't know. Could have, though.
Was there an addition to your family after the bridge game? Really?
That's it, Mrs. That's your secret.
What?
Mrs. Cates was playing bridge at her bridge club when it became apparent to her that she was to become a mother, and she laid down her hand, which she told me was the best hand she'd had all evening. Never got to finish the hand, and the lovely child was born. And we'll let you see what can happen at a bridge party. Rebecca Sue, you out there, honey? Rebecca Sue? Where's Rebecca? Huh? Oh, you want to go get her? All right, fine. Bring her out back here, will you, Mrs. Cates? This is the young lady. This is the young lady here who was born at the bridge party some 4 years ago. Look at her. Thank you all very, very much. Thank you, Rebecca Sue. Don't forget your money, Mrs. Cates. She was a little reluctant. She just doesn't want to get anywhere near any more tables. Afraid if she gets caught under another table, they'll send her back, so it doesn't work. Now then, before we meet tonight's special guest, who is Mr. David Niven, I want to read you a real wonderful letter that I got just the other day concerning this product of ours, Cavalier cigarettes. The letter came to us from a lady who lives in Louisville, Kentucky, and her name is Mrs. June Hurdlow, and she says here, "Dear Gary, will you please help me with a very serious problem? You see, I had made up my mind to use whatever product you had on your show just because they were sponsoring you. But now the Cavalier people are backing your show, and I don't smoke. Should I take up smoking, or should I give up your program? Signed, anxiously yours." That's a very nice letter indeed. Bless your heart, Mrs. Hurdlow. My answer to you is that I don't want you to do either one. Just because you don't happen to smoke doesn't mean that you can't enjoy the show. I was watching a program last night sponsored by the Maidenform people. No. But here is what I do say to you out there, my friends. If you do smoke, and if you want a cigarette that is milder than the cigarette that you have been smoking, for heaven's sake, buy yourself a carton of Cavaliers. And this is just not my opinion. We actually went out and we asked thousands of smokers to compare our Cavaliers for mildness. And 8 out of 10 of the smokers interviewed said that Cavaliers were definitely milder than the cigarette that they had been smoking. So you see, it's true. Now, when you inhale a Cavalier, you get that mildness where it really counts, in the feel of the smoke as you inhale. It's light, and it's smooth, and it's just delightful. As for flavor, well, Cavalier has more than his king-sized share of that. It has flavor and mildness. And even though they are a longer cigarette, king-size Cavaliers are priced no higher than leading regular-sized brands. I'm very proud of this cigarette. The company is proud of them, and it's the same company, you know, that makes Camel cigarettes. So feel that mildness, taste that flavor, and that, my friend, is a Cavalier. A fine, fine cigarette. Now it's time to have our panel go to work on tonight's special guest, ladies and gentlemen, the very charming and accomplished British actor, Mr. David Niven. We are fortunate to have you here. You just got off the boat, didn't you?
Yes, I got off this morning from Europe.
When are you going to California?
Tonight.
How long have you been out of the country, David?
4 months.
Hope you haven't missed the publicity that has been attendant your latest picture, The Moon is Blue.
Yes, I hear we've been banned, but I don't know what happens now.
I hear you've been banned, and I hear the people who go enjoy it. I know I did. Swell picture. Let's get down to the game. Shall we say this, that we will play the game precisely as before, panel, except in this case, any monies won will go to Mr. Niven's favorite charity. Now, David, if you whisper your secret to me, the folks at home are anxious to find out what it is. How do I phrase this, David? David, no, don't go away. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. He very nearly changed his mind, you know. Can't say as I blame him. Oh, all right. The clue is, panel, that it concerns something that he is doing, and we'll start the cross-examination with you, Henry Morgan.
Mr. Niven, this is something you're doing at the moment?
Yes.
Are you doing it while I'm watching you? I mean, that much of the moment?
Yes.
Is something that you're doing that is above the desk?
Well, you have such a low mind. I don't No.
Is it something that you're not doing physically, but that you're thinking?
I'm certainly thinking it, yes.
But he's also doing it physically, right?
Oh, is it something you're doing with your feet?
No.
With your knees?
No.
Buzz, $10 down, $70 to go.
Lucky Pierre.
Mr. Anderson.
David, does it... Oh, you snake. David, does it concern any article of apparel that you're wearing?
Concerning, I beg your pardon?
Does it concern any article of apparel that you're wearing or not wearing?
Yes, it does concern that.
Although not mentioned in the secret, ma'am.
Not mentioned in the secret? But you, this is some physical action, so it concerns some part of your body.
That's
Yes.
Is this apparent to me?
I beg your pardon?
Can I see you?
right. She said, is it apparent to her?
I can hardly think. Yes, it's... No, it's not.
You're not playing a game of bridge by any chance?
No, I wish I was.
David, does it make you uncomfortable?
Very uncomfortable.
There's $20 down and $60 to go. Don't leave. Sit around. It's time for Bill Cullen.
Would it help me, David, to know which part of your body is involved in this secret?
The end.
Would it be better if I just took the part of the body for granted?
I think we all understand each other, don't you?
Is it something upon which you are... Are you sitting on something that's not very comfortable? Is it cold as opposed to hot?
It's cold as
Is it very cold? Is it a cake of ice?
Yes!
All I can say is David Niven and the moon is blue. I want to thank you very much, David. The moon is blue. Poor man, he didn't even stay to collect his $20, and I don't blame him. We'll put it in the escrow for him. Oh, say, I got something for him, too, a heating pad. We'll take it up to his dressing room, huh? Because he has to go up and change right now. Anybody else who comes out here, caution them to be very careful, will you? Because this floor is very slippery from the melting ice. All right. Remember out there now, if you would like very much to come to see our show and you're going to be in New York, write to I've Got a Secret, CBS TV, 485 Madison Avenue, New York City, 22, New York. Now, may we have our next contestant, please? Hello. Will you move in just a little closer, please, and tell the folks what your name is and where you're from.
Lee Adlerstein. I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Lee Adlerstein from Brooklyn, New York. All right? Miss Adlerstein, if you'll whisper your secret to me, we'll reveal it at the same time to those folks out there. Huh? All right, panel, to help classify this secret, I will tell you it concerns something that she bought, and in this case, we'll start off with Bill Cullen.
Lee, this thing that you bought, is it useful?
I think so.
Would you say that it was an absolute necessity?
To some people.
Some?
It is not an absolute necessity, no, we have to say.
Well, could I assume then that some people would do every bit as well without these? Or it?
And she says yes. We seem to be disagree. However, it's irrelevant, I think. I don't think you could do quite as well without it, do you? You're better off to have one. Better off to have one.
Do some people have more than one?
Yes.
Are they rare or hard to get or hard to find?
No.
Or anything like that? If I were to buy one of these and give it to, who should I give it to? Just picking your name out of a hat, my wife, for our anniversary, would she be happy about it?
I don't think so, no. I don't think
Would I
so.
be more apt?
There's $10 down, $70 to go. Miss Jane Meadows, please.
Lee, is this an article of clothing?
No.
It's not. Is it a household article?
No.
It's not. Something that you use out of doors?
No.
Partially, part-time.
Does it have anything to do with sports?
No.
Would this be considered a luxury?
I don't think so.
Now, they started to clap. What does that mean?
That means we have a difference of opinion in the audience.
Is this a large article?
No.
Small.
There's $20 down and $60 to go. Mr. Henry Morgan, please.
This thing you bought, does it do something by itself?
No.
You mean is it automatic, Henry? Is that what you mean?
I'm not sure. Does it do anything?
No, it does. It isn't something that you set apart and it goes to work for you, no.
No. Is it for fun?
Actually, for fun.
Is it something that most girls like you don't have?
I wouldn't say that, no.
That's it's an impossible question to answer, Henry.
Well,
actually.
you know, I was sort of thinking it's a secret, so
No, I mean, let's say that the statistics are 50%, 50-50. Some have and some don't. That would be hard to tell you. It's irrelevant.
Well, should we try to define the article specifically?
Well, I tell you what we're going to have to do. We're all out of time, Henry. We're going to have to completely surrender our $80 to you because we stumped the panel and we run out of time. Will you tell them what your secret is, please?
I bought my marriage license today.
She bought... She bought her own marriage license today, and lest you think that the groom-to-be is a stingy man, this money was earmarked for her by her aunt some years ago with which to buy the wedding license when the time came that she fell in love and wanted to be married. This coming Sunday, she is going to be married to Mr. Leonard Herzenberg. Is that right?
That's right.
Well, Miss Adlerstein, for you and for Mr. Herzenberg, take these with our best wishes and also, of course, our heartiest congratulations. And have a wonderful future. Well, I'm afraid now that that's about all the time we have for our guests and their secrets. Now, a lot of you folks have been writing into us asking us if we would reveal secrets from time to time about the members of our panel, and we thought it was a good idea. So each week we're going to have them reveal one of their personal secrets. We'll be back to do that in just a minute. But there's one thing that we are sure of, and that is the extra mildness that you will find in, guess what, cigarette?
Cavaliers win again. Over 100 hospital nurses in New York compared king-size Cavalier cigarettes with the brand they had been smoking. 87% of smokers interviewed said Cavaliers are milder. Yes, milder than the brand they had been smoking. If you want a really mild cigarette, smoke king-size Cavaliers.
Now, panel, we've been getting letters in here asking about, one particular point in your career. Everybody seems to want to know what was the first performance that you ever made in public. Bill Cullen?
Well, Henry's going to help me on this. I told him what it was, and he has to help me. Actually, in kindergarten, we had a play, and I played the part of one of the two wise men.
There were 3 wise men, Bill.
No, this other kid who was the wise man was home with a weasel. Anyway, that's true.
Took all the time to work it out, and then you loused it up, didn't you? Well, those things will happen. How about you, Janie Meadows?
Oh, well, I was the wild woman of Borneo in a child circus for charity, and I had to sit in the cage, and I cried all through the circus because I wanted to be a bareback rider or something glamorous.
That's a terrible thing to have happen to you. How about you, Henry?
Oh, I guess the first one was a little recitation in assembly in grammar school, and I was pretty bad.
Faye?
Well, I played a lily in the garden of the flowers of the world, and I was pretty bad, too, Henry.
That makes it worse. I was a daffodil in a spring flower show, so you can imagine. Anyhow, till we all meet here then again next week, then, friends. This will be Gary Moore saying bye-bye for the whole gang. Be very kind to each other, will you? And goodbye out there.
I've Got a Secret is brought to you each week at this time by Cavalier, America's great new king-size cigarette. This has been a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.
Wednesday night, the big fights on the CBS television network.